Welcome to day 2 highlights from Henley Royal Regatta 2017. We thought we'd base tonight's programme from the Royal Barge Gloriana. A bit of bling to bring to the programme. Now we're going to start with a heat of the Britannia Challenge Cup. This was close from start to finish.
It's the heat of the Britannia Challenge Cup between Molesey Boat Club and the Rowing Tennis and Hockey Club from Bayer Leverkusen in Germany.
The holders of this event.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to see them race yesterday. The crew from Bayer Leverkusen, they had a very good race yesterday, looked very strong. They needed to bide their time and then they came through well. And today they've gone out really strongly.
This Molesey crew are a very good crew, but you're right, the Bayer Leverkusen crew are already probably half a length up.
Just looking at these crews here, we've got in the stroke seat of the Bayer Leverkusen crew, Christopher Becerra. He's only 19 years old, but he's been rowing for 10 years. He competed at the Junior World Championships, got 6th place at the South American Championships. And he's going to need wisdom, he's going to need composure to keep the length, keep the power going as they come here, because this Molesey crew coming up towards Remenham on the left there will be really looking to make a move back in this last third of the course. There's still plenty left in this race. The Bayer Leverkusen crew still have a small lead as they come towards the progress board, but this one's incredibly tight. This is going to be right down to the wire.
Yeah, Molesey have closed up. This is within a few feet now.
This one's going to be very hard for us to call. There's probably 5 strokes left in this race. We're coming down here towards the line. What a fantastic race on the Thursday here at Henley. Are Molesey going to creep through on the inside? Of Bayer Leverkusen going to hang on the outside? Here we go. We're not bang on the finish line. That is too close to call. And we can confirm that it was a win for Bayer Leverkusen over Molesey by 1 foot. That's 30 centimetres for our German friends who are watching in. About 30 centimetres win, 1 foot, as we see the crews there congratulating each other on the landing stage on a fantastic Henley race.
So that triggered one of the very few photo finishes that we've had at Henley Royal Regatta 2017. We're going to turn now, appropriately enough, on the Gloriana to the Diamond Jubilee Challenge Cup. It was another barnstormer.
No, I mean, just amazing racing to see. Such a competitive event, the Diamond Jubilee Challenge Cup for women's quads. A great introduction of the junior women's quads events to Henley, and so close, side by side. We can see them. They've been so close all the way down the course. Just seeing how well that boat's moving, that their bow just rises each stroke. They're making it move really quite smoothly. They're not doing anything to kick it back. There's not really stopping. And I think through that we've seen the Glasgow Academy moving up the enclosures and moving out towards the lead.
They've got about a length lead now, haven't they? So this is the grandstand, so probably another 100 metres or so to go to the finish. Not far now, and they've got a little bit more control, haven't they? That boat's running a little bit more smoothly than the Beckett boat.
Yeah, so after being side by side for 3/4 of the course, just in this last quarter, the crew from the Glasgow Academy were just able to make it tell and come through the crew from Beckett.
We'll jump ahead a few races from the morning to race 19. It's back to the Britannia Challenge Cup event. This is Stratford Boat Club from Riverside, United States of America.
This Stratford-upon-Avon crew aren't any strangers to tight racing. Last year they were the right side of a 1 foot verdict on the Wednesday, so they probably want to make sure they get themselves out of danger, get themselves up there, and they can see that early on they've got a length over this Riverside crew from Cambridge in Massachusetts. Can Chris Thomas, the stroke man here, really take it up for Stratford? Hold on to this race. He's got a grimace on his face.
Yeah, it'll be hurting. They'll be digging deep, trying to push out that advantage which they forged in the last couple of 100 metres, Stratford-upon-Avon. Chris Thomas in the stroke seat there. Ben Twiney, Thomas Coles and Edward Lurie know that they've got a lot of work to do. Eleanor Willits, 24-year-old Cox, barking the orders.
Riverside
Exciting race.
Come all the way from Massachusetts though, in Cambridge. They really want to make their journey worth it today.
You can hear the cocks there.
What a race, Tim. Look at this. Babble to babble coming into the enclosures.
The Coxes are getting right into it. The crowds will be getting into it. This is the best race of the morning so far. The Britannia Challenge Cup, Riverside Boat Club from America up against Stratford upon Avon. And they have been, well, toe-to-toe the whole way down the course, haven't they? And we still are no nearer to knowing who might be progressing through to the next round. Cracking race. Look at the nerves written all over the face of the Cox there as they glance over, little glance over from Giuliani Vetrano, the Cox of the Riverside Boat Club. Well, there's nothing to call at all.
Who wants to race on Friday? Who's
into
going
the
to take
last
it to the
50
line?
metres or so in the Britannia Challenge Cup. Riverside Boat Club from America, Stratford upon Avon Boat Club. Nothing at all to call. Who's going to be first over the line? Who progresses through to Friday? Last couple of strokes, and they could be crucial. It's going to be on the buck station, the Stratford upon Avon Boat Club, but only just against Riverside Boat Club in America, I think. But that's only on the initial look. Look at the pain across the faces of the rowers there. And Stratford upon Avon Boat Club have beaten Riverside Boat Club, but it was marginal, Jess. What a race.
The woodwork on Gloriana is absolutely beautiful, and the Henley Regatta course has its own marker posts down each side with the wooden posts and beams, and that stuff out there, unlike this beautiful stuff, got some scrapes today.
Here they come, and there are the booms, and that's bad news for City of Bristol Rowing Club.
Now, anyone who prized themselves away from their lunch in good time today would have been rewarded with an absolutely brilliant race in the Thames Challenge Cup. This is Royal Chester versus the German crew, Ruderclub Alemannia.
It's a combination of youth and experience in the stern of that Chester boat. So there we go down, looking at the men from Chester. John McGarver, I think his brother Henry will be at the 7th seat with the blue cap on, and it's his 4th Henley. He's only 19 years of age. Hopes to do GB under 23 trials. He says he's done a 6:15 for his 2K test on the ergo. Stroked by Fraser Morgan, and it's a beautifully judged race from them so far.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of the sport. When you're looking back at your opposition, you know, you can really feed off them, and you know, just trying to keep them at bay, keep pushing them away. So the next kind of 30 strokes are really important for this Chester crew.
So the Germans are in contact, and if we see a heroic sprint, there is enough water for Germany to capture this race. But Chester have been rowing so well down the course. There's the bows of the German 8. I mean, do you think that's picking up out of the water? Do you think there's a surge coming there, Mark?
It's rolling around quite a lot, to be honest. It's not a solid platform there, so I don't know whether it's because they're starting to take it up. They're starting to go through the gears. But if I was kind of in the coxswain seat of the Chester boat, I would start moving it up now, trying to jump on the German boat before they get back at them.
And you know, as if they've heard you in the commentary box, Mark, you can see that the Royal Chester boat are moving it up there. John McGarver just absolutely moving his hands fluidly around the back turn. They're tidy, they're neat. The Germans are coming back. I'm looking and seeing if there's enough water. I don't think there is. Sarah Winklis is warning the German cox, or is that the Chester cox she's warning?
I think it's going to be the Chester cox. They just moved out, and as a cox, that's a clever move at that stage of the race when you see the crew coming back at you, just to try and send some dirty water down.
Yes, very close race. It's going to be an overlap at the finish, but Chester will emerge as winners, the likely winners if they keep clean. There is the finishing line. A great result for the club that row on the River Dee. You can hear the yes, yes shouts. The hand of Fraser Morgan goes up in the stroke seat.
That's a huge scalp there. That was an impressive row.
Yeah, it is, because they were seeded, the Germans. That means the stewards of Henley Regatta think they're going to progress far.
Henley 2017 has had a record entry from across the pond. More than 60 American crews have entered, and many of the best ones have gone into the Schoolboy 8s, the Princess Elizabeth. This afternoon was an absolutely brilliant race between Deerfield Academy and Kent School.
We have then an all-American contest. Deerfield yesterday beat the Haverford School again from the USA by a length and 2/3 in a time of 6 minutes 33. Kent School 5 seconds slower than that, but beat Moncton Combe School very comfortably in 2 lengths, and I saw that and they were easing up. The winners of it will go forward to face Shrewsbury or Eton in the quarter-final, and we meet them further up the course here. Once more approaching Fawley, and once more it's pretty close. Kent with somewhat greater experience of the event. For Deerfield, this is their first year for the club at Henley. They won the North Eastern Championships and the Nationals, and really looking to make a mark on this iconic event.
And they do look more composed at this point in the race. Those images there, the Kent guys just rolling around a little bit, and Deerfield are looking much more composed in that section of the race. And Deerfield just look like they're just eating that kind of distance they were behind halfway, just eating back down the track.
I mentioned in the last race that we have had some very exciting close races, peculiarly almost over the first couple of days of Henley. And it looks as though we're going to have another very exciting close finish here between these two strong, young, aspirational American crews.
And that's exactly, you come into the stewards' enclosure and both crews are level. That's exactly what you want as a youngster. That's exciting racing now. Who really wants it most?
Who's got it? Who's got it between the ears? Who's got it in terms of strength and fitness? Who's saved it through the day? Who's come into the race with the right mindset and the right physical preparedness? This is going to be a truly thrilling finish, though it does seem now that the crew on the Berks side there, Deerfield, have pulled through and found themselves a margin, an advantage, which is going to be just sufficient. And goodness me, that speaks volumes for their depth of belief and indeed for their fitness. They have come from behind and they are going to win, eventually easing up.
And that's exactly what their coach spoke about. You know, the middle part of the race, they move much more efficiently than Kent and just ease their way through, and then left them for dead.
9 rowers each side on the Royal Barge Gloriana, and you could say the technology is a little bit historic. All mod cons though in the Thames Challenge Cup today. This was a local derby, Kingston versus Thames Rowing Club.
2 crews in the Thames Challenge Cup from good old Blighty. Familiar foes, Thames Rowing Club B in their very well-known uniform of red, white and black on the Bucks side, and Kingston Rowing Club in scarlet.
Looks hard work in that Kingston crew. I don't know how they're going to lift it. I'm sure coming into the enclosures they'll hear the crowds. You can see the stroke man is trying to move his hands round the finish. He's trying to get them round. They're trying to lift that rate, but they're looking tired in that crew and getting stronger, I think, than Thames. So can they find something? They'll be doing their last bursts now, pulling in everything they've got in that Kingston crew. This is what they'll have trained for all year. This will have spurred them through those training sessions. They're giving it everything. You can see they're lifting it a bit now. Can they make any ground up?
Too little, too late just from Kingston. As Thames B cling on, hold on, grit their teeth, stay together, reach out for the line. It's going to be very, very close in the final analysis. Very close indeed. What a very good race. But Thames B win it by a fraction from Kingston. Terrific contest. Thames B go through.
That's it then from day 2's highlights from the Royal Barge Gloriana. A tap of the forelock to Her Majesty for giving us permission to film on board. We will be back tomorrow with Friday's action. Don't forget, you can watch it all live or indeed after the event on our YouTube channel. We'll see you tomorrow.